El mundo vio cuando los aviones impactaron contra las Torres Gemelas y presenció con asombro cómo llegó a su fin el que fuera un altivo símbolo de Nueva York. Pero pocos saben o recuerdan que ese día, en la Gran Manzana, cayeron no 2, sino 3 edificios y el colapso del tercero es quizás el misterio más grande del 11 de septiembre. Dylan Avery es un joven realizador estadounidense con más preguntas que respuestas. Convencido de que el reporte oficial del 11S está lleno de fallas, produjo un documental en el que pide que se aborden interrogantes concretos sobre lo ocurrido, como las causas del colapso del World Trade Center 7.
The first thing for people to understand is that WTC-7 was the 7th building in the complex of the World Trade Center buildings. It was 47 stories tall, meaning that in 33 states it would have been the tallest building in the entire state. At 5:20 p.m. on September 11th, this building collapsed straight down into its own footprint, resembling a classic controlled demolition.
La forma en que colapsó es el corazón del misterio de la Torre 7. Los que opinan que no se ha dicho toda la verdad aseguran que el registro en video del colapso no deja duda de que se trató de una implosión controlada. Aún más, la caída del edificio 7 fue reportada por BBC y CNN a las 5:04 p.m., es decir, 16 minutos antes de que ocurriera. La corresponsal de BBC incluso dio la noticia con el edificio 7 claramente visible todavía en pie al fondo.
World Trade Center Building 7 had a wide variety of government agencies inside the building. You had the largest CIA station outside of Washington, D.C. I mean, that's significant. Not only that, it was the Secret Service's biggest field office. We're talking Department of Defense, IRS, Securities and Exchange Commission. This building was loaded with government agencies and documents. So if any building were to collapse on 9/11 at free fall speed, it's interesting that it would happen to be that one.
No solo eso, en el piso 23 del WT7 quedaba la Administración Federal de Emergencias. Era desde allí que debía administrarse la respuesta a, precisamente, emergencias como la del 11S. A pesar de que el gobierno de Nueva York invirtió millones en acondicionar un centro de comando blindado, a prueba de fuego y con conectividad a las demás agencias federales, el alcalde Rudolph Giuliani nunca lo utilizó esa mañana. Los sistemas de alarma del edificio estaban apagados porque un simulacro de emergencia fue programado justamente para ese día. Do you consider yourself a conspiracy theorist?
No, I don't delve in theories or speculation because that's the one thing that we as a movement get attacked for. These people have no evidence. They're spouting off of the mouth. They're a bunch of basement dwelling tinfoil hat wearers. You know, they love to call us names and marginalize us, but in reality, we don't theorize, we don't speculate, we try not to say anything offensive or controversial. All we're trying to stick to is valid information. And the important thing to realize is, again, we're not talking about theories here, we're talking about facts. I mean, John Farmer, the man who wrote the 9/11 Commission, the man who put the words on the page, is now on record saying that it can't be trusted, essentially. I mean, case closed.
Al día de hoy, la explicación sobre el colapso de la Torre 7 es fatiga de material debido a un incendio. De ser así, este sería el primer edificio con núcleo de acero en el mundo que se derrumba debido a un incendio. What is precisely what you ask?
We want a new investigation. That's the bottom line. The whole reason we do it is because we want to see a new investigation into the events, and because, you know, we as the Truth Movement essentially are the second investigation because the first one was so flawed. And again, people criticize us and they say, well, you know, you're not experts, you know, you're not this or you're not that. We know we're not. All we're doing is simply trying to bring closure to the questions that were not properly addressed by the 9/11 Commission. It's that simple. And until we get satisfactory answers, the questions aren't going to go away. I mean, just because you ignore and laugh at questions doesn't make them any less legitimate. It just means that you are afraid of the answers.
Para más información visite esta dirección. Yo soy Wilson Vega en Tiempo Real.